Hi, this is Chatterboxing. I'm Sean. This is my post-fight video for Canelo Alvarez and Liam Smith. It's a little bit late. I wanted to do it at the weekend, but I was really busy, so I didn't have time. I'm doing it now. Good fight. Both of them fought well, in my opinion. I didn't make a prediction video for the same reason. I didn't. I was going to do it on Saturday, but in the end, I couldn't. My prediction would have been that Canelo won on points. That's what I expected to happen. I thought, I still think Liam Smith is very tough. He's bigger than most of the people Canelo's been fighting recently. Well, not recently, but like in general, really. He's a big bloke, tough, and he's got a very tight guard. And I just thought it would be quite difficult for Alvarez to stop him. But he did, because there's been a bit of a. I personally thought that his punch power has been slightly overhyped. I thought he's a good puncher, but I didn't think he was like as powerful as people were saying. But to be honest, he did look like a very hard puncher in this fight. This is obviously the first time that Liam Smith's been stopped. Liam Smith came out. He started a little bit slow, I think. Obviously, it was a big step up for him. First time he fought outside of the UK. To go and fight in a big, in front of like 50,000 Mexicans against a Mexican was obviously a new experience for him, and against someone as good as Canelo as well, because he's never fought anyone close to that level. And you could see really in the first round that Canelo just had much faster hands. He was, just beating him to the punch. He had a good selection of punches as well. And Liam Smith, the first round he kind of didn't really do much. Second round he started to get into it a bit more. Canelo won again. Canelo, for me, pretty much won every round. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a competitive fight, if that makes any sense. I thought that every round really was competitive, and Liam Smith gave a very good account of himself. But Canelo, in my opinion, won every round. So, it depends which way you look at it. I suppose you could say that it wasn't competitive. For me, it was. It was competitive because he was in there the whole time. He was like pushing Canelo back to the rope sometimes, landing some good punches on him. He was just overmatched really in every department. Canelo had quicker hands, harder puncher. He had a lot more experience. He was, he had a lot better defense. He did have good defense, Liam Smith, but the problem is when you've got that kind of defense and it's very tight, you are kind of inviting punches on. You know what I mean? If you like Canelo has very good head movement, very good upper body movement, and a very he's becoming a very clever fighter as well. So his defense is a lot more elusive and it's a lot more difficult to break down. Whereas someone like Liam Smith, he covers up pretty well, but it's kind of quite basic. And it does, like someone who hits as hard as Alvarez can be just those punches on the arms, on the elbows, shoulders. They start building up after a while, and they're going to start to hurt. So yeah. But what I want to say, though, I want to say like credit to Liam Smith for going out to the lion's den like that to defend his title. He could have maybe gone for a couple of easier touches. Could have stayed at home. They could have, built him up a bit in his own city, and he didn't. He wanted to go and take on one of the best in the world in their backyard. He's not from Texas, we know that, but he's based there, and he's got a big crowd there. There were like 50,000. Very intimidating atmosphere. So for that to be the first time you box out of your own country, it takes a lot of bollocks to do that. So fair play to Liam Smith for taking on that challenge. In terms of what he'll get out of this, I think he'll gain some good experience. I don't think he was particularly phased by the experience anyway. At least not. He may have been once he got into the ring. I don't. He didn't seem to be to me. I think being out there, going to fight against one of the best in the world. Because let's be honest, we all sort of criticise Canelo for the stuff with Triple G. I know I do. But the fact is, he's a very very good fighter. He's one of the best in the world, and it was a massive step up for Liam Smith. So going on to take on that kind of challenge in a massive football stadium full of fans all against you, intimidated atmosphere, and he gave a good account of himself. Yeah, he lost, but you'd think that he can build on this now, and hopefully he can sort of go on to bigger and better things. potential fights that are out there for him. Well, I mean, you've got in his division like the Charlo brothers, Austin Trout, Lara, Andrade. You know, all of these people, most of them based in America. That was obviously watched by a lot of people, and he gave it a good fight. I mean, no one can say that he didn't. Everyone watching it would probably be happy to see him again as an opponent. I don't know why, but I know that a lot of these characters in America, they're not fighting each other. They got like the same trainer or something like that. I don't really know, but obviously, like the Charlo brothers aren't going to fight each other. One of them, I believe, was going to fight Andrade. That didn't happen. They haven't fought Lara either. So it seems to be a bit kind of, I don't know, a bit stagnant, that division. So he's probably put himself in the mix now for quite a viable opponent, because he's now someone that kind of ticks all the boxes. He's going to come and give it a good fight. Um, you're more likely to be able to show the fight now, sell it to British TV. Um, he's increased his profile. People are going to know who he is in America, and he's sort of fought Canelo, and also they'll think that probably like we can beat him. Any of that. I mean, I don't know if they can or they can't, but they're certainly going to be more likely to fight him than seemingly they're having to fight each other. So hopefully he'll get some more opportunities. He hasn't done himself any shame in that. Kell Brook potentially be an option for him. So yeah, unlucky. I feel sorry for him because obviously that's the first time he's lost. He's lost his title, but I think his stock has probably gone up. Before that, nobody knew who he was. He wasn't even that big in Britain. But personally, I think he deserves a lot of respect for going over there, take on a challenge. I like that kind of thing. I like people travelling in boxing to go and take on challenges. I don't like people just staying in their city or all the time. I know, like sometimes it makes sense if you're someone like Anthony Joshua or Canelo, Floyd Mayweather, these kind of characters where they make so much money where they are that it's difficult for them to really think of going somewhere else. But still, as a fan, I like it, and I applaud that kind of behaviour. So yeah, in terms of Canelo, he looked very good, to be honest. He looked sharp. I thought he was going to struggle at that weight. To be honest, I thought he was really killing himself. I thought Liam Smith would have a chance as it went on into the later rounds. I thought he might start to tire. His stamina's never been the best. I thought that maybe the struggle that he had to make that weight would play a part in the later rounds, and I thought maybe Smith could get to. I didn't think he would, but I thought it was a possibility. Um, he didn't. He fought well throughout. He still kind of chooses his moments to fight. He's not. He's no Leo Santa Cruz. He's not going to be like going at it like hammer and tong for 12 rounds. He doesn't really need to because he's got good punching power. He's a good counter puncher, and that kind of keeps people from just wanting to just sort of steamroll through him. At least it does at that kind of these kind of whether that will be enough to stop Golovkin, I don't know. But for most people, his combination of counter punching, his power, and his intelligence. He's a very intelligent fighter, Canelo. He does pick his shots very well. So yeah, he impressed me, to be honest with you. His power as well was. I didn't expect him to do that. I thought that he's quite a few people have gone the distance with him, and like smaller people, like Matthew Hatton, Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto. Obviously, these are good fights, especially the last two, but they are like kind of smaller, and in their case, they were older as well. So I thought that people were overhyping the amount of power that he had, but yeah, it does look like he's, he does have a pretty good punch on him, and he definitely seems to be improving as well. I mean, from his point of view, it's pretty much. I mean, I'd say the one I was going to say is a pretty much flawless performance. One thing I would say, he got him onto the ropes quite a lot, Liam Smith, which is a concern if you're fighting somebody like Golovkin, because Liam Smith didn't really have the power to hurt him. But if he gets like that with Golovkin, then he's going to be in trouble. But I suppose he needs to, he needs to work on that. At some point, you're going to be there. So, you're going to have to. You can't expect to fight anyone and never be on the ropes. Do you know what I mean? Unless he's fighting a 2-year-old or something. Do you know what I mean? Realistically, that's something he's gonna have to do. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that fight. Liam Smith, hopefully now he's going to come back from that. I hope he doesn't go straight in with someone really good like in America or something. Hopefully, he kind of builds himself back up. He's going to take some confidence from that, I hope, and want to come back and get maybe win a world title again. That's what I'd like to see. So yeah, credit to both of them, and especially Liam Smith, as I say, for going over there and taking on that challenge. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. So thanks for watching.